Hey everyone, welcome back to Drive Protected. My name is Eric. In today's episode, we're continuing with the Model S Satin Black PPF transformation. And in this video, we're going to be going over how to do a bulk PPF install on this rear hatch. We could do a pre-cut template, but we're going to end up with seams. Seams do not look good when you're doing a color change or a color transformation like we are with this Model S, going from gloss black to satin black. So we're going to be taking a big giant bulk sheet of PPF, tacking it down to one side, stretching it over to the other, squeegeeing it down, trimming it, post-heating, done. It's really just that easy. I kid. But enough of me talking, let's get into it. All right, so we just got the rear hatch all sprayed down with our slip solution. Now we're going to start back rolling the bulk PPF into place. So what I'm doing right now is basically just removing the liner. All right, so we got the PPF back rolled onto the back of the rear fender. So all I'm doing right now is just moving the film over. That way I have an even amount of film on each side. Okay, what I need to do now is I'm going to lift the PPF and I'm spraying a bunch of slip solution under the film. We're getting ready to start our stretch. Okay, there we go. PPF is on. We got a bunch of slip solution on top of the film, which is exactly what we want. Now what we need to do is we need to start tacking the film down. So I'm going to go over to the passenger side over here, and I'm going to start tacking the paint protection film down to the rear hatch. There we go. Hopefully that's going to be good enough. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I stay out of your guys' way. But what we need to do is we need to get rid of all of these fingers. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be stretching right across this body line right over here to the point where these fingers are gone. Once those fingers are gone, then I can tack the film down onto the vehicle. Okay. Now we got to stretch. There we go. Just got that stuck down into place. That's exactly what we want. Fingers are gone. These fingers, they start right below the panel gap or whatever that is right there. So that's perfect. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to start cutting off some of the excess material. So I'm going to come here to the back. I did a cut line right over there. come over here. Okay, that's good. Now everything that's over here, this can all get squeegeed down right over here in the middle. So don't be like me, keep your squeegee nearby. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift the PPF up here. I'm gonna get some tack solution underneath the film. I'm gonna lock that down. There we go. That's good. Now, I think what I'm gonna have to do is, do I do that now? No. I talk to myself all the time while I'm installing. So I'm just cutting some of this excess material out of here. I'm going to stretch this up, get it into place. Okay, that's good. Let's go and do the same thing over there on the passenger side. Okay, that's good. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a chair and we're gonna come down over here and we're gonna get the rest of the back end down. So let's get the knife out. So what I'm doing here is I'm just spraying a bunch of tack solution behind the film. That's good. Now, we're gonna trim a little bit more off here. So I'm gonna go right over here between the taillights. go. Just getting this all locked down. Definitely erring on the side of caution here, just because this is satin black film, or it's actually, that really doesn't matter. It's different than your standard clear and regular matte PPF, where you can really see where you are as far as the edges go. But with this, and how much tension there's across here, it's very hard to know where exactly you are. So that's good. I think what I'm gonna do right now is finish off this side, and then we'll go over to the passenger side. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just cutting a good amount of this excess material off. And then I'm gonna get my squeegee, my tack solution. Now we're gonna have to cut off a bunch of this excess material over here. Because it's stuck over here to the rear fender, it's never gonna properly sit in place. Okay, now gonna have to cut some more PPF off here. So I'm gonna come over here between rear fender and the tail light, or the charge port cover, I should say. There we go. You can see the tension of the film. It's wanting to kind of pull itself back. So we're gonna have to play with these fingers. Get these fingers down. There's always a way to get this material to sit down. Sometimes you might have to lift it up and readjust, but that's fine. Again, I'm not sure if you guys have watched the first video of this series, this transformation series, but this is the first time I've ever done color change PPF on a car like this. So okay, this side is good to go. I'm gonna move you guys over to the passenger side and then we'll pick up from there. Okay, so we're over here on the passenger side of the vehicle. Now, as you can see, we got all these crazy positive tension lines here. And what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get my slip solution and try and find the easiest way to get underneath there to add more solution under the film. And I think that's just going to be by trimming off a bunch of this excess material. That's going to give me a good, it's going to give me a good opening to get all that slip in there. That's good. Okay, now we're just going to repeat the process that we did on the driver's side, and that is going to be by cutting off a bunch of the excess material right here. Okay, that's good. Now we're going to cut off some of this over here. Got that down. Lifted this up over here again. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to relift all this and re-stretch this into place. Okay, there we go. That's good right over there. Now, we're just going to move you guys a little bit further forward. Now we're going to finish everything off right over here. Leave the best part for last. The easiest amount of squeegeeing, the most satisfying part, outside of that big stretch, obviously. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to get a microfiber drying towel, and then I'm going to dry everything off. Okay, so I got my microfiber, just drying everything off, looking to make sure everything looks good. And it does. And that corner's pulling back, so we're going to have to take care of that here in a short time. Okay, now we're going to trim off all the excess material around the glass. So what I do is I take my blade and I pop my blade just barely enough to go through the film. and I run it along the inside of the glass. You can just see the wild amount of tension that is on the PPF. There we go. That's gone. Perfect. There we go. That right there is how you do a bulk PPF install on the rear hatch of a Tesla Model S. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let this sit for a few hours before I come back and I do all my final trimming and my post heating. So I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it and you found some value in it, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more paint protection film content coming your way.